For many immigrants to the United States, the path to opportunity starts with a business, and that can mean anything from life science innovation to a shop on Main Street. Every year, the Immigrant Learning Center spotlights some of the best examples with its Immigrant Entrepreneur Awards. To tell us about this year's selection is the director of the center's Public Education Institute, Denzil, Mohammed, and one of the honorees, the owner of Tales, Inc. in Jamaica Plain, Yessy, Feliz. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
I want to start with Denzil because in a certain sense, this is a story that is very familiar, but why does it need to be told about immigrant entrepreneurs?
Immigrants are inherently entrepreneurial, and they always have been. So they've always had a higher propensity to start businesses, from Levi Strauss to Coors Bear to Kraft Cheese. I think we've forgotten that in today's discourse, that immigrants have tremendous qualities that have always made America great and continue to make America great. And that is integral to the discussion on immigration today.
What about what your institute does to help them? I mean, what's different from the way things were 100 years ago when Haffenreffer was opening a brewery in Jamaica Plain?
What's different now?
Yes.
In terms of the climate?
What you need, the kind of supports that the immigrants need.
Right now we're in, and I think Yessy will agree, a climate of fear and uncertainty. And immigrants need a lot of education and reassurance that this country is still a welcoming country and that they are wanted here and that they're the backbone of many Main Street economies, many life science economies and high-tech economies. We're in a climate now where facts no longer seem to matter. And as a public education director, we have to find ways of connecting with people by spotlighting people like Yessy, telling their stories and reminding people that we have certain common humanities and values.
Yessy, you're an immigrant, but you really grew up in Boston. You worked in some other fields. So actually, this is about not so much square one as why did you move to this other square?
I found a niche in the Jamaica Plain area that I thought that could be fulfilled with my type of business, which it was. But I also wanted it to do something different. Like I was telling Denzil, I was brought up to think of you have to go to college and get a job, but what about creating jobs? Creating jobs for other individuals and doing something to make a difference. Just like Levi's or Samuel Adams or all these people, they started a company and now they probably employ 5,000 people. So it's the same thing. I wanted it to have a company that I started from scratch, that has a legacy, that it provides employment for not only immigrants, but from other individuals as well. So it was an opportunity for me to make a change, and I did it.
Now, I live close enough to Jamaica Plain. I know how dog friendly it is, but,
Yes.
but how do you go from that to your idea of doing business with that kind of a population?
Well, there's a lot of dog walkers. And in my situation, I had a tough time taking care of my own dog because I had to work long hours. She had to be at home. I had to let her out. You're not always finding a dependable dog walker. So I decided, why don't I start a business where I could spend time with my own dog? And I love dogs. So that's where the idea came from.
Now, sometimes you say, well, start up a business where people can park their dogs and not think about them for a while. But I guess you want to add value on top of that. So what do you do exactly?
Absolutely. So we train our staff in body language and canine behavior. And it is essential to know these items in order to take care of dogs. So not only are we socializing the dog with one another, but we're also instructing the dogs, taking away bad behaviors, getting them exercise, taking them out for walks, putting them on the treadmill. So what we do is we make sure that the dog gets their daily routine and their energy out. So when the owners come home, they just have to give them dinner and the dog goes to sleep. So we provide, that's the value that we provide to the customers.
So what's also going on here, it's not about immigrants sort of working up within a silo. They're dealing with other parts of society, aren't they?
Oh, they certainly are. And they are looking for opportunities where they can have an impact and make a difference. Yessy, for instance, partnered with the city of Boston a lot. Yes. And was able to get assistance that would enable her for her business to thrive.
Explain how that worked, how the Institute made things even better for this business.
Well, Mohammed, they do what Denzil and the Institute does. They help individuals, not only teaching them how to speak English, but instructing them on where the services are so they could start their own businesses as well. They connect the immigrant community that have arrived or have been here for a while with the resources and the services that they need to strive. And this is exactly what we need. When I started my business, I didn't know we had so many resources available. It's not mentioned to us. It's not, at least in the Hispanic community, it's not ready available for everybody to know. And that makes a difference. So having people like him and people at his institution helps small business thrive. I was struggling in the first couple of years, and now that I was able to connect with this help, sales is doing a lot better.
Now, of course, you start the business, but you have different kinds of people working for you, and you have a certain relationship with them. Tell me a little bit about them and how you see where they're going.
Well, I'm a different type of boss manager. I like to promote within. That's my goal. My employees are either second chance felons, or they are young individuals that don't hold a college education. So I need to help them build their resume. So what I do is I delegate a lot of the responsibilities, but also teach them how to run the business. They help me run the business. So if they ever decide to go and start their own or work for somebody else, they could put something in their resume. And it's just that, not just that they were walking dogs. So I think that is important as a business owner. You want to make sure that you take care of your employees at all times so they could take care of you.
So when it comes to immigration, there's often this sort of a zero-sum attitude that if immigrants weren't doing these things, somebody else would be doing who was here earlier than they were. But is that necessarily true?
I think anyone who studies economics will know that the economy is far more complex than that, and that if we have a bigger workforce, we have a bigger economy. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the opposite of that in certain countries like Japan, where the workforce is shrinking, whereas immigration would have helped fill that gap. And this is something that America continues to need as baby boomers retire, as the workforce shrinks, as fewer people are paying into Social Security and Medicare. It has always been something that's supported our economy. And it's not it is never as simple as one job is taken by one, so therefore one is left without. As Yessy would be able to tell you, she's been able to create jobs. And the real narrative, immigrants are twice as likely to start a business. Immigrants are job creators.
Right. And Yessy, what about just the environment right around where your business is located? Because, Hyde Square, it's actually a nice little crossroads in Jamaica Plain, but on the other hand, you're in a store block that isn't always full. So I guess you're adding something there, aren't you?
Yes, we are. Jamaica Plain has changed a lot since I came in 1994. I remember at first it was a lot of Hispanic individuals, so that's why it's known as the Latin Quarter for the city of Boston. But it's been changing drastically. The demographics of the neighborhood has been changing. So we get all nationalities now. I have customers from every nationality. My own employees are from a variety of nationalities. We are a melting pot. So it's interesting to see that it's not always a busy place, even though because a lot of people work, but it's a centralized place. Jamaica Plain, and where I am located specifically, is very close to hospitals, it's very close to downtown. So we get customers and people from all over pretty much the city, including Milton, Walpole, Norton, because they're able to park around there and take the T to Boston to work. So when they come to pick up their dogs, they could stop by at the restaurant to pick up their meal. They could go to the pub right next in front of us to get a drink and then pick up their dogs. So my specific location has helped other business owners get customers as well.
Right. And Denzil, what about the way you help businesses? I know you have the basic English language courses, but you also have things that go above that level. Can you talk about what you do for people?
A lot of what I do within our institute at the Immigrant Learning Center is not direct service necessarily. Our mission is to educate Americans on the contributions of immigrants, to raise the level of dialogue on immigration to something that is more fact-based. And this is not just within Massachusetts, but nationally. And so we commission a lot of research, do a lot of public education on how immigrants are having a very, very important impact on our culture, our society, and our economy.
Right. Finally, Denzil, if people want some more information about the center, you've got something online they can check out?
Yes, they can go to www.ilctr.org. We are having an impact on immigrants and Americans alike.
And Yessy, you've got something for Tails Inc. too?
Sure, we're located at 385 Center Street in Jamaica Plain. It's www.tailsboston.com. And if they bring their dogs, you know that they're contributing to me being able to provide other jobs.
Right. Thank you both very much, Yessy Feliz and Denzil Mohammed.